It's now time for the WLEW Sports Postgame Show on Sports Radio 102.1 FM, WLEWSports.com, and now live on Facebook. Presented by Scheurer Health.
You're listening and watching to all the action unfold here on the shores of Lake Huron as the Harbor Beach Pirates victorious over the Beal City Aggies. Not that we were penciling this one in from months and weeks ago, but it seemed like all directions were pointing to this two teams meeting somewhere between now and Ford Field. The way the bracket was made up in Division 8, they said, we're not going to have them meet in the semifinals, we're going to have them meet in a regional final. They said, oh boy, that's a steep climb. That's going up in Everest there. And the Harbor Beach Pirates hang on and dominate the Beal City Aggies. I'll say it, they dominated the Beal City Aggies at their own game. 26-15 is your final score as they take out the Beal City Aggies and hand them their first loss in over a year. They had two losses last year, went on to win the state championship. They took out Fowler in a close game and pretty much cruised from their point forward in the semifinals against Fowler and then into the state semifinal or state final. And then this year they rattled through their first 11 games before they only gave up more than one score once this season. That was last week's Novell. That was 2 scores. The Harbor Beach Pirates doubled that at 4 scores today. And as a result, the Harbor Beach Pirates, regional champions in Division 8, taking out a hard-nosed team of Beal City. Can't stress it enough. Beal City, most state appearances in the playoffs in the entire state of Michigan. 40 appearances in the postseason. No one else has beaten that in no matter what division. This is a blue-chip program, and Harbor Beach just uprooted that Beal City program in 2025.
Yeah, it feels like, you know, your UBLE teams, right? Your USA teams going back further. These teams that have had the same coach for 1,000,000 years, running the same program from top to bottom, from the second grade on up, right? That's what we've seen in your successful programs. USA, when they were running through people, Lakers before that. Recently we've had UBLE, Harbor Beach a couple different times. Like, this is a team that has done everything I mentioned all those teams have done, but over 40, 50 years worth of time, right? Forever, instead of a 10-year blip here or there. This team has done it forever.
Non-stop.
They are a small school, extremely small. Harbor Beach has more students than Beal City. We haven't got to say that all year long. They find a way to put together this type of program, and I'm here to tell you, you take one look at that roster, they are not losing very much. In a couple important seniors, this is an underclass heavy team. Look out 2026.
Yeah, Drew Gross, a junior, fullback, wingback, quarterback, Kyler Smith, he's a junior. Braxton Bukovic, their leading rusher, sophomore. I mean, they had to replace pretty much their entire offensive line. Drew Gross last year played left guard. Mm-hmm. This year, he's in the backfield. And they said, no problem. No worries whatsoever. I mean, Nick Bogue at center is about the only piece there that they're going to lose. Ben Gottschalk, defensive tackle, he's a senior. Nick Irvin, defensive tackle. Right tackle is Jacob Butler, Jake Upton, senior. But other than that, I mean, they've got a lot of pieces coming back.
It's going to feel like this past offseason for Harbor Beach.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You have all your playmakers coming back, or most of them. Mm-hmm. You have to replace the line.
Yeah.
If they can replace the line, that team is going to be extremely good next season.
It is amazing how small that school is, but they don't go through the ebbs and flows, the ups and downs. They don't have to rebuild ever. They just reload.
Well, they can
as they say.
They only continue on the ups.
They absolutely do.
Just as a reference, and if you're watching, you're going to see the benefit of this sheet. In front of me, I have a sheet that I accumulate for every area team. And it's a legal size paper, so it's 14 inches long. And the Harbor Beach Pirates, it has every single game that Harbor Beach has ever played in the playoffs. It is this long. Is a good sheet. We are literally at next game. I'll have to add to the back side because this side is blank for the Harbor Beach Pirates. That's 24 playoff appearances in 61 games. Then there's Beal City, another full sheet, 14 inches of playoff games. But then you flip it over, and it's a whole other side. I mean, 40 playoff appearances, so not that many more. So just 16 more playoff appearances, double the games. This is their 120th playoff game today, and their 29th appearance in the regional championship game. So this is a team, blue chip program. Their jerseys are blue for a reason, as I always say, and to defeat them, that's always got to be a good feeling for Troy Schelke.
It's hard not to, again, come back to the same thing. They are the benchmark for Division 8. They are the playoff team you need to be aware of every single season for our smaller schools. And they are the absolute team to mimic, to copy, to the dream school. This is how they take care of their football program. These kids play football at a young age. That's all they know. They love it. They breathe it. It's a year-round commitment for them, and they love every second of it. It is not hard to get those kids into the weight room, doing all these different things to make them ready for the next football season. Yeah, if you're coming out of the Thumb and you want to go far in the playoffs, you have to beat Beal City. It's just that simple.
Yeah. It's kind of like in basketball. You're going to run into Beecher at some point. And so the equivalent of basketball or football would most certainly be the Beal City Aggies.
Absolutely.
So it appears we gave Kevin Streeter enough time here from Thumb Audio Video. He does his wonders throughout the entire game, throughout the entire week. It's constant communication between him and I, and we have time, as we gave him enough time to put together our highlights here. Dave Hanson, why don't you play us through what this game looked like from start to finish?
Yeah, happy to. You guys will get to, hopefully this works, and watch them. But the first score of the game came with 27 seconds left in the first quarter. You'll see Keegan Potostivio punch in a 3-yard touchdown run, and Skylar Cruz would tack on the PAT for a 7-0 lead. But Beal City would respond on this Kyler Smith 59-yard touchdown pass to Eric Elias.
There we go.
I said it wrong once. I did it again.
It's okay.
Bukowski punches in the 2-point run, 8-7 Beal City, but Harbor Beach would respond again. This time, Caden Buchholz, a 6-yard touchdown run. The 2-point conversion would fail, but Harbor Beach retakes the lead, 13-8 with 4:06 to go. And after a Matt Geiger sack on 4th down, Buchholz would find his way in zone again, thanks to that Andrew Caban block. Another touchdown run. Cruz tacks on the PAT. It's 20-8. Harbor Beach. Beal City, though, would get back on the board with a Bukovic 1-yard touchdown run. The extra point would be good, and it's Harbor Beach 20, Beal City 15 with 8 to go in the fourth quarter, and then it's Benson Harper breaking free on a 31-yard touchdown run. The 2-point pass would fail, but Harbor Beach would extend their lead 26-15, and as Beal City tries to get back into it, you will see another Benson Harper big play, an interception, put Harbor Beach's offense back on the field. And as time winds down, Beal City gets one more possession, trying to force it downfield. And the nail in the coffin would be an Andrew Caban touchdown run, interception to seal the victory for the Harbor Beach Pirates.
A lot of key factors in this game that made this game possible. And as a result, we just saw the interception from Andrew Caban, but we also saw a lot of plays that don't show up on a stat sheet, and that was Andrew Caban's big day today, really being the lead blocker from start to finish.
It's the dirty work. He did all the dirty work coming out of that backfield. He sprung probably every big play, not just touchdown, but every big play. When Rogan Messing had that long run in the first quarter, that was sprung by Andrew Caban. He was in the right spot, and I'll tell you what, he was blocking the inside linebackers too. They had probably 40 pounds on him, and so that was tough. But the guys in the trenches too. When you're talking about the dirty work, the offensive line and that defensive line for Harbor Beach, boy, they're going to get some ice on some parts today. I'll tell you what, they knew they were in a football game.
And so when all's said and done, we'll pull up your stats now. Thank you, Dave, and thank you, Kevin, for putting those stats together and key plays there and highlights. If you were watching on the NFHS Network, you just saw all those scoring plays come together in rapid time and succession, which is pretty darn impressive, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, because Kevin is awesome at what he does to make that happen. So good work there. He only needed, about 3.5 minutes to make
that's
that
all
happen.
it is.
It's unbelievable what he can do. But let's get back to the stats.
Well, let's take a look at our stats now here. When all's said and done, the Beal City Aggies were held to 276 yards on 54 plays and 2 scores. You'd say, well, all things considered, they probably pulled out the victory. If they ran for nearly 300 yards, they averaged 330 a game. Today, though, it was half and half. 157 yards on the through the air for 10 completions with 1 score, but 2 interceptions. In the rushing game, 34 carries for 119 yards and 3.5 yards per carry. Beal City entered today averaging just over 9 yards. Yeah, they averaged 9.7 per carry. And today they averaged 3.5.
Well, I'll top that. They averaged 9.7 a carry. They only had 2 runs longer than 9 yards in this game.
Kevin, can you take off the scoreboard?
Only 2 runs longer than 9 yards in this game.
That's correct.
That's worth repeating. For dramatic effect, I felt like I had to repeat that.
Ed Klump, your definition of you is for dramatic effect. I'm not gonna lie.
That's why I'm here.
Yeah, so at Beal City with 119 yards on the ground, 157 through the air for 276 total, but 2 turnovers. And plus a turnover and downs early in that game when Harbor Beach, they took the ball. They've had great success in that first drive, typically setting the tone the rest of the way out. But they resulted in 4 plays and a punt. They had a first down on the very first drive, very first play, and then they had a 3 and out after that, and resulted in a punt. Then Beal City marches down the field, started their own 30, end of the 34 of Harbor Beach, and that's where they were stopped on 4th down. Couldn't convert, and then Harbor Beach turned that into points very soon after, just 6 plays later, and totaling just 3 minutes and 14 seconds, put the Harbor Beach Pirates on the board. But then, like you said, Beal City responded, and we said, okay, this is gonna be a brawl all the way to the finish. But then Harbor Beach slowly did the things they needed to do. There were some passes that Beal City is certainly going to look back on and say, if we only had that pass, if we only brought that catch in, things would be different. We heard that from Brad Gross at halftime too. But when all said and done, Harbor Beach, in this level, in the postseason especially, all things, you have 5 programs entering today left in Division 8. Blue chip programs all over the place. You got Hudson waiting on the other side. Mm-hmm. Beal City and Harbor Beach, 2 blue chip programs over here. You have to play nearly a perfect game. Harbor Beach did have a fumble at the end of the game there, but so be it. That didn't hurt them at the end. But when it came down to it, those big shifts of momentum all went in favor of Harbor Beach today.
Yeah, and it was somebody different, right? It was always somebody different. It was Benson Harper getting an interception. It was Andrew Caban getting an interception. It was Matt Geiger getting 2 sacks in 3 plays to force that 4th down turnover, right? So it was a different guy that stepped up in a big moment. It was Rogan Messing running the ball early. It was Caden Buchholz to the outside. The second half, those outside runs were Benson Harper, right? That is this team's. That's how dangerous they are. Anybody can do it at any given time. And you look at the stat sheet, and it's full of a bunch of guys that had equal amounts of stats. You didn't know Keegan Potestevio scores on the very first drive. Who had that, on their betting odds, right? Like, he is a guy that can score. Drew Nickrand could be the guy that scores. Like, this team is loaded with talent, and they find a way to give everybody a shot in their moment. And again, it was Andrew Caban for us that stood out in this game, that made the important plays that you just don't notice unless you're here and you're looking for it specifically, making those blocks. He's going to be as sore as anybody. Making tackles on the secondary, right? Trying to chase down these receivers that are bigger than him, right? Making plays down the field, intercepting the pass for his offense, just doing all these things. That's what it takes to beat a Beal City football team. I don't care if it's at their place, if it's on the road, or it's at a neutral site. It doesn't matter. This Beal City team is going to bring it, and Harbor Beach found ways to get a couple of stops when they needed it, and they finished drives. So they scored 4 touchdowns on this team, where it had taken a month for accumulation of 4 touchdowns to score on this team.
Yeah, it was. They controlled the clock, I think, which was huge, because Beal City, as you saw, they can be explosive. They can score right now, and there were a few drops, but. Harbor Beach with that bend but don't break defense too. I mean, when they have that many yards and they don't come out with a win, that was the absolute definition of bend don't break defense.
No question about it. But they were opportunistic defense today, right? They may have been not break, but they really didn't break much on a team that averages 40. How many points a game? 45.
Yeah, 45.
They gave up 15. Like, that is the sign of a defense that is going to give up some yards, but it's very hard to get it past that big white line at the end of the field.
Yeah, they tighten up in the red zone. They tighten right up in the red zone.
And someone who had his eyes on the trenches all day, that would be Dan Banky. He's with us now as well after doing his duties on the sidelines, getting rid of the banners, everything else, grabbing the microphone. There's a lot of pieces that you don't see on this broadcast. And Dan Banky, what were your thoughts of today?
I thought this game especially Harbor Beach was a lot more physical than they've been in the last few weeks. The quarterback missed some passes, but he also hung some guys out to dry, and they took a pretty good lick. And you don't go up and do that the second time. You're kind of hesitant and stretching yourself out. So that was one thing I noticed. And the other thing was in the second half, Harbor Beach switched to 2 deep safety instead of
one came out in a 4-3. Yeah.
Yes, so that because they were getting beat up, kind of going down the middle of the field, so they went to 2 deep safety, and that definitely helped them out. And there were still some plays that snuck down there, but I mean they definitely eliminated a lot of those pass plays.
Yeah, when you're talking about hanging them out and then making them pay, that Winkles hit
sit right down here.
Yeah, on this side of the field. I felt that.
Yes.
I felt that.
Yes. Yep.
And can't stress it enough that every single play in this game kind of accumulated to the outcome for the Harbor Beach Pirates, but Matt Geiger is going to go, he had 1 catch for 3 yards. That's technically the only stat he had today.
On offense.
On offense. Because he ended the game leading the way with 9 tackles for the team, 2 sacks for 22 total yards, and they were in back-to-back on the same series.
Right. In an important series that
Just
they
a little bit.
needed to stop.
Beal City came out in that second half, marched from their own 31-yard line, and they're all the way down inside. Were they inside the red zone? They were very close. Yeah, they would have been. Yeah, down to about the 16-yard line. Yep. And then that's when Matt Geiger took over. He sacked Kyler Smith the first time, and then on a 4th down, looked like Beal City's going to try and score us again and retake the lead. Potentially, they would have taken the lead. It was 13-8 at that point. And then Matt Geiger with a huge sack really changed the momentum of this game, flung it back in the direction of Harbor Beach, and the Pirates never looked back.
Yeah, and field position after that sack, too, that Harbor Beach got, which was huge.
Yep. Jonah Dimmock with 8 tackles today. Luke Bisher, 5 tackles and 1 tackle for a loss. Ty Winkle, 5 tackles. Benson Harper, 3 tackles and 1 interception. Noah Moeller, 2 tackles on special teams. Going in today, I took a look at a lot of Beal City tape this week, and I said, where Beal City, they have so much pre-snap motion that defenses typically are struggling to keep up. Okay, it's a jet sweep this way. All of a sudden, the moment you try and cut off the jet sweep, then they cut it up inside, and it's tough to defend that. Don't get me wrong. Beal City did those exact things very well today, but Harbor Beach has so much outside pressure coming from Matt Geiger and Skylar Cruz on the outside that all of a sudden Luke Bisher's shutting the door on the outside if they try and run it outside. All of a sudden, Ty Winkle, Rogan Messing, Jonah Dimmock, John Lehrman are all shutting every possible door on defense and not allowing Beal City to do what they normally have done for the last 12 weeks.
I know you don't have time to mention everybody, but there were plenty of times where Benson Harper at safety is reading the play, and it comes up and just I'm getting to the outside before you. You are going to cut up on the field. You're going to have to cut up into the teeth of my defense. And when they go to plant and cut, they didn't have the ability. The field was soft. It did not allow it, and it took your momentum away, and that allowed the rotating linebackers, sometimes even that defensive end, to come clean up these plays where traditionally they get to the outside and get 7, 8, 9, maybe even the whole length of the field runs. Yeah,
Harper looked comfortable on offense, but on defense, he was coming up and laying the lumber. He finally looked comfortable on defense as well.
Yeah. I said at the beginning of the game, in the pregame, the ends and outside linebackers is going to have a huge part of this defense, right? And they did a great job. I mean, they were forcing people to turn back. Well, that's where the teeth of the defense is coming back to finish up the play. So, great job on the ends and outside linebackers. Even the cornerbacks were up in there.
Yeah, no matter where you looked, Harbor Beach was stepping up. And this didn't get. I kind of had an idea for a storyline the whole way through, talking about, because we were in Fowler a year ago, exactly today. It would have been Saturday last year, 365 days ago, 364, whatever you want to say. And we went into that game quite confident that Harbor Beach was going to win the game. Said, Harbor Beach, the tough-nosed thumb defense. And we're talking to the athletic director at Fowler, and he said, I don't think you've met the aggression. You've played the aggression like Fowler has that season. They played Palm Westphalian, won a lot of different things. We said, I don't think it's going to be that big deal. And so I came in today very hesitant I had that same confidence in Harbor Beach today coming into today, but I said I don't want to be overconfident like it was last year in that Fowler game. Harbor Beach's entire squad, coaches, players, assistant coaches, you name it, superintendent, principals, anyone in that school, anyone inside that program all said had the same feeling. They said use that game as momentum and motivation a year ago to when they're back on this stage now. I think Harbor Beach wouldn't be as successful today if they had beaten Fowler last year.
I'd like to couple that with one other very important thing. Is last year, and this is right out of the Tom Izzo playbook, they were battle-tested this year.
Very much so.
4 Division 7 opponents. They beat all 4 of them. They beat Millington on the road, defending 7 state champions, right? So, again, they bring in Whiteford. They beat them out that way on a neutral site. So they played a neutral site game. They've gone on the road against some of the best that Division 7 has to offer, right? And beat those teams.
And as a result of those victories, that's why this game was here today in Harbor Beach, not in Beal City. They edged them out barely in points, and that's because Harbor Beach beat 4 Division 7 teams that all made the playoffs.
Yeah, it's huge. I said schedule is a big deal, and they went out and scheduled these teams, and then they turned around and beat them, and then that sets them up with a home game. So, yes, that's all a part of it. It starts with the Fowler game. They recognize that if we would have played some better teams outside of our conference schedule, I think we'd have been more ready for Fowler. They weren't. They were shell-shocked. They were beat up. They were they were played physically, which you don't see that from our area.
No.
They don't get beat unless it's Traverse City from 20 years ago that we're playing with how many guys that were going Division I, right? Like, so outside of that maybe era, you didn't see our teams out being dominated on the line of scrimmage. It just doesn't happen. And again, to look back at Harbor Beach, they're rushing for as much as they did, averaging 6 yards a carry against a top-tier defense, just under 300 yards. I mean, it was incredible to watch. It was not how I thought Harbor Beach would have to play to win the game. I thought their stats would look more like the Beal City one, right? Some mixing in some passes, 7 or 8 passes, try to get 100 yards through the air, a couple hundred on the ground, try to get it that way. That never needed to. They did not need to. They stuck to their guns. They rotated in, mixed in who gets the football. Beal City didn't know who's coming next.
And now let's take a look at what the road to Ford Field looks like in Division 8. So Harbor Beach has now defeated the Division 7 state champions in Millington in Week 9. Now they've taken out the Division 8 defending champions in Beal City in the regional championship. And this is what the road to Ford Field looks like. Harbor Beach started the postseason with a win over Reese 49-8. Then took out USA last week 35-12. Then today in the Regional 2 championship in Division 8, they take out the Beal City Aggies 26-15. Last night was quite the theatrics to finish the game. Bark River Harris was down 21-14 with 8 seconds left in that game. Glen Lake scored with 8 seconds left to go up 21-14. Then Bark River Harris returns the ensuing kickoff, 88 yards, including the first kid missed it, went through his legs, muffed the kick. Then that kick picks it up, laterals it across the field. He drops it, fumbles the ball, and then bounces right back into his hands, and he's off for 88 yards in for the score. And
that's only half of it.
Just like they drew it up is what you're
exactly.
saying.
just how Ed Klump drew it up.
Yes,
and
but that's only half of it because you are still down 1 and you don't kick the extra point.
Glen Lake is up at this point 21-20, and then Bark River Harris, who went for 2-point conversions all night, brings the 2-point conversion team out there, and the Kazoos of Glen Lake are stopped in their tracks because that 2-point conversion was hard fought, but they got in by about a half a yard. Game over. Bark River Harris on the 2-point conversion wins 22-21 over Glen Lake. And so now that sets up this semifinal in Division 8 between the Harbor Beach Pirates and the Bark River Harris Broncos. Next Saturday, most likely. Location to be determined. If I had my way, I say Petoskey is right in the middle between these two schools. It's about a 12-mile difference between Harbor Beach and Bark River Harris, which is just shy of Duluth, Minnesota, it feels like. It's a way up there. Yeah. And so now Harbor Beach and Bark River Harris, we've been to Petoskey. We'd like to see it in not a snowstorm. That would be nice. Last time we were there was a 2023 or 2022.
I'll be Bearcats.
In 2022 when they took out the Iron Mountain Mountaineers. And so now it's Harbor Beach, Bark River Harris on one side. On the other side, Allen Park Cabrini outlasted Madison Heights Madison last night in a back-and-forth game. They won by 2 points there to face off with the Hudson Tigers. Last year, Division 7, a hard-nosed foe. And Hudson Tigers have been just making a fool of anyone they've been playing so far.
Well, keep in mind, Harbor Beach beat 4 Division 7 opponents, right, and go undefeated, and they calculate about 42.5 points.
Yeah, 42.5.
Hudson's at 49 and change. It's almost 50.
Almost 50 points.
So you tell me a team that's battle tested, playing big schools, playing important games. Hudson's that other team, right? So it was Division 8 is shaking out, kind of like we thought. Beal City, Harbor Beach, Hudson were kind of the names to remember. No offense to these other schools, but that's been the talk of the town since preseason. Obviously, Cabrini's going to give it everything they got. Barker River Harris, the studying starts tomorrow on these schools, but it's an interesting Final Four on a collision course to Ford Field.
So 4 teams remain in Division 8, Harbor Beach, Bark River Harris, Hudson, and Cabrini. And unfortunately, that is the only team remaining in the Thumb area. It was a tough day for everyone across the board. We had a few teams left in 8-player football, 1 team left in Division 7. We'll start there. The Millington Cardinals were trailing Clinton at halftime 8-0, and then they get on the board 3 times in the second half. But Clinton got on the board 2 more times to win 20-18 over the Millington Cardinals. The Millington season ends at 9-3. And Clinton scored with 49 seconds left. So Millington was up in that game. And then pulled back the lead in their favor to oust the Millington Cardinals from the postseason. A great season there. Of course, state champions last year, a historic run there.
Special teams, man. Got to get those 2-point conversions.
Yeah, that's what it is. When you have 18 points and 3 scores,
it's regional finals. Those are the little things that make a difference. And for Millington, that's going to bite them this time.
And if you can run Skylar Cruz out there, that's almost 3 automatic extra points there to be 21-20. Hanover Horton loses to Schoolcraft. Kendall Anthus is happy there. So Schoolcraft continues into the semifinals. They'll now face off with Clinton in the semifinals. Then Ithaca lost to Pewamo Westphalia last night. In the Menominee, 43-0. Menominee, 43-0 over the Maroons over the Tigers, as Menominee another mainstay in the late postseason in the MHSAA playoffs. So Menominee and Pewamo Westphalia face off in Division 7. Then it's going to be Schoolcraft and Clinton in Division 7, so we have no more area teams in Division 7. In Division 8, it's just Harbor Beach left, as it's now Harbor Beach, Bark River Harris, Hudson, and Allen Park Cabrini. And then we have in 8-player football, Kingston came out and was leading 8-0 over Martin at halftime, 8-0 over the Clippers, and then it was Martin with 20 points in the second half to win over Kingston 20-8. So Kingston's season ends at 10-2 and falls in the semifinals to Martin down in Chelsea, Michigan today. That's just the second loss to the Kingston Cardinals. Their first loss to Deckerville, who faced off with the Portland St. Patrick Shamrocks today. 2-0 against Portland St. Patrick in history. Have had some magic there against Portland St. Patrick, but not today, as the Shamrocks win 36-15. It was 20-0 at halftime. Deckerville finds the end zone twice in the second half, but so does St. Patrick. So Deckerville's season ends at 10-2 as well. Of course, they lost Ian Flanagan, starting quarterback in Week 7. I do believe it was when they were facing off with Kingston. Their backup quarterback, freshman, son of Boone Brown. Very bright future there for the Deckerville program. Very similar to Beal City. Somehow, in a very small rural community, they keep reloading every single year.
Yeah.
So that is all your scores from other areas teams, and that means there's just one show in town remaining. The Harbor Beach Pirates taking out the Beal City Aggies 26-15. An 11-point victory goes in favor of the Pirates, and yeah, Paul Adams was close today. He was very, very close. As Paul Adams took Harbor Beach by 7 points, Diane Banky took Harbor Beach by 14 points, an 11-point victory.
He wasn't going to get it. It was either me or Dan.
Yeah, it was Dave Hanson took Harbor Beach by 6, but Dan Banky was the closest, just 3 points off. He took Harbor Beach by 14 points, 28-14. The final score, 26-15. So Dan Banky is the closest man to reach Kendall Anthus. Kendall Anthus in the Media Round Table standings has 4 victories this season. Dan Banky now with 3.
Good job, Dan. I tried to be a jerk and $1 Dan again, and I went on the wrong side. Just 3 weeks in a row. 3 weeks in a row, I have been a jerk. That's karma. That's just karma. I got to be a nicer guy.
Yeah. That's because you don't have brown shoes on, probably.
That's true.
Well, I did bring brown shoes.
Do you want to tell that story? Ed Klump was on the sideline outside of protocol for our crew today.
Listen, I had stuff to do. I'm an important guy. I got things on my mind. So I, on the way up, I had my 2 brown shoes ready to go. 2 different brown shoes, both left. Well, so it's a thought that counts. I even have the brown belt to prove it that I was gonna go brown shoes, brown belt.
Well, that's good, and I'm glad you remembered a belt, because Doug Cole forgot a belt 13 years ago, and we haven't forgotten it.
Right.
So, Doug, it was great to have you back today. As I'm sure Kendall Anthus is relieved as well.
Yeah, my head doesn't hurt.
Oh yeah,
I got to enjoy the game.
Yeah, it was a great game, physical. Definitely a Division 8 great game. So I'm excited for next week, and should be a good game between Harbor Beach and Bark River Harris.
So if you're just turning on your radio right now, Harbor Beach defeats Beal City 26-15 for their 7th regional championship in school history, I do believe. Yeah, 7 regional titles now in 12 appearances. And that's our whole broadcast team. We got Kevin Streeter working his magic there, but there's one other person here who's kind of hanging out over here. Let's come and bring her in. It's Kayla O'Neill, our former director of sports, former social media director for us. Get in here where you can see yourselves. There we go. That's Kayla O'Neill, who is working the camera sidelines for us today. And Ed, look, this microphone in her face here. Kayla, what were your thoughts out there today?
Badass.
Yeah.
Yes. Great game. Happy to be back out there.
Yeah. Do you have any forearm strength left? I mean, that's quite the camera rig out there today.
Yeah, I definitely will be entering some arm wrestling competitions, I think.
Oh, okay. All right. That's good. Now, that Bad Axe reference comes from Kayla the one time we just threw her on air without really any warning.
Any heads up at all.
Kayla, what's your prediction today? And she said, Bad Axe, and they almost upset Lakers.
Very close.
So, Kayla, it was a pleasure to have you back on the sidelines for today. Maybe next week?
I don't know. I heard I did really good.
You did. There were some good shots there. Certainly daylight helps big time with video shots there. But well, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 guys here. 7 guys, 1 gal. There's 8 total people for a radio broadcast. That's kind of hard to fathom here, but the people behind me here really is what makes this whole broadcast go. Thanks, guys. Really appreciate it.
No, absolutely.
Oh,
we enjoy it, or we wouldn't be here.
You make us look. You make all of us look good, Clark. Come on, we know it's you.
Well, according to Kentalanthus, it's all Doug Cole.
That's right. That's
It's all
right.
Doug Cole.
Yeah.
That's all it is. So it's good to have this whole gang back together. We have so much enjoyment and so much pleasure doing this for you. We might be a little biased as we provide great coverage for you because we enjoy just as much as our listeners and watchers enjoy it as well, because this might be the biggest stage that these kids might ever have in their life. I mean, the likelihood of anyone going Division I and going professional in athletics, especially from the thumb, no matter where you're going, those odds are against you, as even in the NIL era, but unless you never mind there, but we don't get into the NCAA sanctions there, but this is a big stage, and we're now into the era where there's one team left in the whole thumb region, and all those eyes and all the support. Even Ubley might even be supporting Harbor Beach now. I will say, as it's
Eric Sweeney, Coach Eric Sweeney, the legend. Coach Eric Sweeney was here today.
Really?
Yes, I talked to him. He had Harbor Beach winning.
Okay.
He loves Harbor Beach.
Yes, he does. Everybody loves everybody. To quote a semi-pro there, but this is the moment where it doesn't matter what's happening. I go to the grocery store, I go to work, and everyone says, what are your thoughts on the game this weekend? And I absolutely love it because the entire community, and especially in today's political age and everything else, everyone's in full support for the very rare moment in their entire lives. And it's all going to be for high school football, putting these kids on the stage that they deserve. Hard work year-round. The key to this team for Harbor Beach has been the off-season dedication, getting the weight room every single day, making sure that they are sharp in their player-coach team. You have Andrew Caban, Benson Harper, Rogan Messing. Those kids have played in the back, behind the tower. We saw that video surface this week. There's just so many key pieces to this team that really makes this possible, and it's from the top down, no matter what your number 0 or number 99 on this roster. Every single one of you, the scout offense is huge during the weeks. Ron Rubel on the defense has scouted every single possible footage they have. Troy Shelke does the same on the offensive side, and all comes together for quite the final masterpiece here in final production on the field, up in the booth. And unfortunately, gentlemen, Kayla, you don't need to do this for us, but we have to tear down today. I know, we've been here for 3 weeks.
I gotta go. I just got a phone call.
Yeah, I'm sure we're have to start paying property taxes if we stay any longer up here. So it's been a pleasure. We appreciate all the hospitality here in Harbor Beach, as always, and everywhere we go. It doesn't matter. We're always welcome with open arms, no matter where we are. And we say, hey, we'll take over half your press box, and say, okay, we'll do it, fine. And so it's been great. Kevin Streeter, great addition on Thumb Audio Video. It's been so much fun, and the road is not done yet, Dave. I think we got a couple more weeks ahead of us.
No, we got one for sure, and that's what matters. We'll tackle it, I guess, Coach Shelke style, right? We'll celebrate tonight and get back to work tomorrow.
Road trip.
Yeah, road trip. Yeah,
to be determined road trip, right?
I don't think Troy mentioned the Superior Dome. I don't think that's going to be in the cards. One, that's way too close to Bark River Harris, and two, the 8-player state championships take place next Saturday there, so I don't think Harbor Beach will willingly take a shorter day on, because Bark River Harris played last night, Harbor Beach played today. They're not going to play on Friday of this coming week, so that'd be a short week. You don't want to do that. So we'll see where we end up. No matter where it is, we will be there, hopefully with a strong internet connection, so we can continue on this traveling circus no matter where we end up.
Yeah, that's always the key, but we'll make the best with what we got, and hopefully we'll know by tomorrow midday where we're going.
Kendall Lanthus, our associate producer, any closing thoughts?
No, I think it was a really exciting game. We got to see 2 Smash Mouth football teams come out here and give it their all for us. Kudos to Beal City. It was a great year. But Harbor Beach, moving on. Can't wait for next week.
Dan Banky, the best spotter in the business.
Yeah, I don't know if we gave a shout-out enough to the linemen, man. They were
it's huge.
They were opening up some holes. Even Ed can still stumble through a few of those. But yeah, so I forgot to mention those guys were doing a heck of a job in there. And congrats to Beal City. I mean, don't hang your head that they still had a great season. So looking forward to next week.
Doug Cole.
Yep. Congratulations to Harbor Beach, and also congratulations to Beal City on their great season. Just fell a little short, and looking forward to one more week at least, hopefully 2 more weeks.
Thank you, our Director of Sports Information for 13 years. Dan Benke, you've been with us, I think, 9 is what we say. And Ken Lanthus, the man who said goodbye how many times? And he's like, don't give me a sport coat. Don't give me a sport coat. I'm going to be gone at the end of this year. And finally, today is the first time he's donning the new sport coat. And apparently he's lost weight between the time we took his measurements and today. Because I wish I looked swimming. I wish I looked swimming inside a sport coat, but you look good regardless.
If you ask my dad, he would say the complete opposite.
Kevin Streeter, any thoughts here before we go? Let's get the microphone over there. Anything? I mean, the man never gets to say anything. So Kevin Streeter here.
Yeah, no, it's been really fun to join your broadcast crew, and the things that we're doing each week seems to be adding to levels of production that I've never been into. So as long as the budget permits, we'll keep going.
I have a tendency to kind of push things a little bit when it comes to production.
No, Clark?
I know.
No.
Why do you think
go big or go home?
I mean, nearly every single one of these at some point have been involved in the Harbor Beach Game Show series, and now we don't have that, so let's just pour it into into postseason coverage here. Yeah. So, Kevin Street, it's been a pleasure, and we've still got plenty of work to do.
Yeah, we got one, maybe, hopefully 2
weeks
to go.
Hopefully 2, and then we'll take on the whole nation at that point. We'll find some. I think Texas goes later than us. Kayla O'Neill, any closing thoughts today?
Can't wait to see what happens next.
All right. Well, thank you, Kayla. We never operated a camera really in your life like that before, and we said she did it with open arms. So thank you.
That's for Dan Benke schooling really paid off.
the Dan Benke School of Camera Operations, a subset of the school
branching out nowadays.
So and Ed Klump, this is your 6th game with us this season now?
I think so. I've had like 4 in a row now. Yeah. I'm on a streak.
Week 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 5 in a row now. 6 for the season.
Fantastic, and I like stepping all over Doug's dining with Doug and being his wingman there. That's awesome. It's fantastic. Thanks for letting me tag along.
I apologize we didn't get the photos from that. We had Doug pose with a whole bunch of the staff.
We actually forgot to take the picture. We went over to Uncle Jack's. We had there's a tailgate over there, so we went and tailgated for a minute, and then I'm like, Clark told me to take pictures.
So you went back?
The one thing. So we went back and we did an Ellen selfie, and then ran out.
Oh, I love it. So thank you, Dining with Doug, getting the 100% seal of approval to Cafe. Was it 1887?
Yes, that's correct.
1887, right downtown Harbor Beach, open for breakfast and lunch. You guys did hot dogs for lunch. So
I thought I'd try a hot dog. Why not?
Yeah. And Dave Hanson, final thoughts today.
Lots. It starts with Beal City. A great performance. It's no fun watching one of these teams lose, but looking at this roster and just knowing the pedigree of this football team, just double down on them next year. Watch out for them next year, and I know they'll be ready and prepared and assumed to be the favorite next year. As for Harbor Beach, well fought, hard win. Appreciate Harbor Beach letting us hang out here for 3 weeks, and I guess we will pack up and go on the road. But again, everything's been great. It's been a lot of fun, and looking forward to one more week.
One more week at a time. We'll see if we can have 2 more weeks in us as the bracket started with 32 teams, now down to the final 4. Today's game broadcast was brought to you by Thumb Cellular and APS Broadband, Kotick Radiator and Air Conditioning, Randy's Hunting Center, North Star Bank, Countryside Sales and Service, DS Services of Cass City, Thumb Bank and Trust, Thumb Electric and TEC Fiber. Harbor Beach Community Hospital, a proud partner of Scheurer Health. Ramsey Funeral Home, our family serving yours since 1948. We have Wessel's Enterprises, Harbor Beach Hardware, the Michigan High School Athletic Association, and Scheurer Health. Better health, better life.
Are you sure?
You're getting better by the day, fellas. I got to say, that sounded great. On behalf of our entire broadcast team, Kevin Streeter, Kendall Anthus, Dan Benke, Ed Klump, Doug Cole, Kayla O'Neill, Dave Hanson. My name is Clark Ramsey, producer and host of this broadcast for the last 15 seasons. And here we are in the state semifinals yet again. We will let you know where that game will be taking place Saturday at 1 o'clock, most likely, against Mark River Harris and the Harbor Beach Pirates. On behalf of everyone at WLEW Sports and Thumb Audio Video, thank you for listening and watching. We'll see you next week. Good night.
This has been a presentation of the WLEW Sports Network, powered by AVS Broadband. On Sports Radio 102.1 FM and live and worldwide at WLEWsports.com. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Just search for WLEW Sports. Your home for high school football is the WLEW Sports Network.